Most of our sites are so hilly that it's not that easy to get that kind of equipment into the project. Not all crane operators can dance as well as they should. There are some great companies that we worked with over the years, some really talented operators, and some experiences, particularly stateside, where we show up expecting a crane and an operator, which would be typical for us here in Canada, only to find out that we have a crane, but there's no legislation in those areas requiring the crane operator to have any experience. So it happened to be the carpenter of the morning who was lucky enough to volunteer, and he's got about 30 minutes experience. Those projects go really slowly because you want to be really careful. But all in all, the projects go well, and it really is a key player in the game is the crane operator. With the timber framing, we really have a chance to make almost a sculpture, if you will, out of wood. And a lot of fun with the clients because they want to get involved, and they'll get up on the frame and they want to drive that peg in and really get to feel their home and have a good time with it. And at the end of the day, one of the sort of the traditional ceremonies we'll go through is where we want them to take a pine bough, and it really goes back centuries old, sort of the tradition of putting a pine bough on the peak of the new home as a celebration of what we got from the forest and Mother Nature, and sort of taking respect of that. But for most homeowners, they don't like heights, and it's all we can do to drag them up that ladder to nail this thing on. More often than not, it creates all kinds of jokes and chuckles from the crowd down below, but there's a real sense of accomplishment at the end of that process for not only the crew, but also for the people that spent, frankly, the last 3, 5, 10 years dreaming about it.
After first year at university at Toronto and thinking I might go into some professional academic career, obviously decided that wasn't for me, and I cut loose. Went out west for a couple of years and built log homes there, came back to the family farm, and at some point in the process of developing a picture on the farm market, we needed a new barn. So, being foolish and stupid, I said, let me see what I can figure out. And at the time, we thought maybe we'd be able to find some Mennonites. Couldn't find anybody. Nobody knew how to build a barn. However, the revival had started, and there were some books out on timber framing, and being young and foolish, I got a case of beer, read the book, and said, I can do this. So that's really how it started. We built a market in London that started out at a couple hundred square feet. By the time we were done doing additions over 7 years, it was 17,000 square feet, full 2-story timber frame. And at that point, we decided that maybe my calling wasn't in running the farm market, maybe it was in something else.